everybody? Welcome to Full Send Live. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week because we're having an awesome week as well, but we miss you guys a whole lot. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to stay through the entire video because we have some special stuff coming up. But first, we've got some business to attend to. I have to draw the winner of the mystery box for this week. So drum roll, please. Let's see who's going to win it. It's our lucky mystery box recipient. We've got Emily James. She is winning the mystery box for the week. It's going to be awesome. If there's food, there's going to be a little bit less because I'm feeling kind of hungry, but that's okay. That's beside the point. So see what we've got in store next for you guys.
Hey guys, here I am at the porch, and I'm so excited to finally be back here. I wish you were here, but I'm really excited about what's coming up. The next several weeks, we have the Great Family Adventure. We know that the quarantine has been a little difficult for everyone, but it's been a great time to spend more time with our family, and we think this adventure will do just that. But we need to make sure that everybody gets signed up so we know how many people are participating in case we need to buy supplies. So make sure you go to gfa2020.org and sign up. See you soon.
Parker and Maddie and Drew, Brian, Emily, and Mason. Okay, that's everybody. The rules are simple. You just need to go find a place and hide. We'll give you 2 minutes, 120 seconds to find your hiding spot. And when that 2 minutes is up, you need to turn your camera back on. And we need enough background video for our it to have some kind of clue as to where to find you. Parker, turn off your camera. All right, all of our hiders, you have 2 minutes to hide. On your mark, get set, go.
You guys, I just saw a snake.
Callie just saw a snake.
It was really little, but I was still kind of scared.
That's still kind of creepy, yeah.
Okay, turning my video back on, bye.
Okay, bye. All right, we'll check on Callie here in a little bit. She'll give us an SOS.
Okay,
Right,
I think I'm safe.
Think you're safe, right? 1 minute left. Hiders, you've got 1 more minute
Y'all
left.
hear that? You hear those birds? They're huge, dude. I think it's hawks.
Wow. Okay, so we know that Callie's outside.
You don't know that?
No, we don't. We don't. There could be snakes and birds inside the church. Who knows? 30 seconds left. All right, go ahead and turn your cameras back on.
I'm gonna get caught because you guys can't be quiet.
Never had it where it's dark. This is Callie's outside. Hawkie's outside. They're over here. You just got sold by the hawk, bro.
Getting sold out.
The hawks are selling you, bro.
Nature.
It's like in a tree.
He's in a tree? This Parker, bro, are you in a tree?
Hey, bro, don't worry about it. All I have to say is I'm not allergic to poison ivy, so choose wisely. I'm not either, so we're all good.
I am, but I don't care. There's a dove. Yeah, it rained last night.
Mason's in a tree or something. So do we have like a time limit or something? Well, I'm not gonna run. If I run, then there's a chance of me missing somebody.
That is true. Good point.
I think we found Callie.
Jackson found me.
Yep, there she is.
All right, Ethan, we need your camera on.
I'm out. Oh,
yeah.
no.
Callie is out.
Am I the first one?
Yeah. Did we take you with us now?
I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, hey.
If we skip
Oh, I'm
our
in.
social distancing.
I'm it too. Oh, I'm it too.
Yeah.
Like triangle formation.
I don't see you. Like your screen is black.
I can see my eyeballs.
Oh, there you are.
Hello. Did Mason turn his camera off? That's cheating.
Are you texting them? So no one's in the
There's
trailer?
somebody back there. I see you. Let's go look.
So all that's left is Parker and Mason.
Parker and Mason. That's right.
I'm still here, bro.
Yeah, they're the only ones left.
DJ's in the dark.
Sorry.
Yeah, they got it.
But for Ethan, if you look, Ethan, look left. If you look left, you'll find me.
Mason, are you in a tree?
Mason ain't no tree.
And then if you look right, you'll find Parker. Who's in
Well,
the tree?
the fact is that I can hear dogs, but I can't hear dogs on other stuff. So.
Well, you can't really see.
Stage somewhere.
Well, that helps us because
Molly
there's
James.
43 acres out here that looks just like that, Parker.
43 acres that he could get to within 120 seconds.
Yeah,
I'm
really
that fast, though.
Have you seen his legs?
I know, right?
That's a good spot. I'm saying that's spot for late. We're coming out.
Come out, dude. I still can't hear you, bro.
Yeah.
Do it again.
I made a pallet on the ground out of sticks and rocks, like I'm on a survival show.
Did you guys find everybody else?
No.
Emily, we just
Yeah,
left.
we quit. I
saving our spot.
got Mason and Parker.
The only one left?
Emily, we gave up. Hold on. Ain't no one ever gonna find us there.
I'm coming out. My phone died. Callie almost
Okay,
found
good
me, but
stuff.
she didn't open the right door.
Callie, we're-
I know the entire car. I ain't find you anywhere. I know all 45 lifers. Where is she?
Emily's on the way to
Just
Sunday.
in there.
We were.
There's a hot. Hey, Parker, there's your hot.
DJ found.
No, I came out. My phone died.
What are you talking about? They're down there. That one right there. No, you see that sign there? Down there.
If Emily's parents would buy her a real phone, this would.
Worthy of every song we could ever sing, worthy of every breath we could ever breathe, worthy of every praise we could ever bring. We live for you. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. We live for you. Holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder. Show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. We live for you.
Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about how we have influence with each other and our cause and effect relationship that we have with other people. So you've probably talked about in school or family or whoever about cause and effect relationships. So this would mean I stay up all night studying for this test. That's the cause. And the effect is I make an A. On the other hand, maybe you stay up all night playing video games and eating potato chips, and you wake up the next morning or don't wake up, and you fail miserably. That would be the effect. Maybe some of you worked really, really, really hard last year in training, exercising, running a lot, maybe shooting the basket, throwing a football, whatever, and you made the team. That would be the effect. Or maybe you didn't do anything, you just sat down and binged Netflix all day and ate cake, and maybe you didn't make the team, and that would be the effect there. So we have causes and effects that you play a role in, and sometimes that can be a negative thing, and sometimes it can be a positive thing. And we're going to talk about how that plays a role in our relationships with other people.
All right, and what happens is sometimes in life we just mess up. We just blow it completely, and we drift away from what we know is right, and the effect of all of that is we lose influence. And sometimes it happens in really big ways, like it's just a big mess up that has made the headlines at school or your team or even in your small group at church. And maybe it's something like a questionable choice at a party that you were involved in, or some pictures that start circulating social media, or maybe it was even a run-in with the police, or whatever you've done that's really a bad decision, something stupid that you wouldn't ordinarily do, and all of a sudden your influence changes. People stop looking toward you. Those that looked up to you kind of take a step back. And the people that used to really listen to your opinion on things all of a sudden kind of turn the volume down. And maybe the adults that you know in your life are kind of giving you some disappointing looks. Even the people that you normally hang out with on a daily basis, your go-to crowd, they start kind of stepping away, and suddenly they're busy and they can't be available to do things. Or sometimes it happens in a small way over time. It's not just one big choice, but it's a series of small choices that have happened over time, like changes in your friend group. Or maybe this is going to be a one-time choice that turns into a more regular choice that you begin making, and all of a sudden you're losing influence. Relationships in your life have changed, and you find yourself in a really different spot. How we treat people can increase or decrease the effect that we have in the lives of others. Over time, our interactions, if they're negative, affect the way that people view us. It affects the way that they trust us. And before we realize it, we've started making these changes, and all of a sudden, everything around us is different. We look up, our relationships are completely different, and we're tempted to just kind of give up in that situation. We're just tempted to think, okay, that's it, it's over. I can't change the situation. It is what it is right now. And so we're tempted to just pull back. Maybe we decide we're not going to go to church anymore. We're not going to speak up in our small group anymore. We're going to just kind of step back from all of our friends, and we lose effect. We lose relationships. Things change, and we lose our influence.
So today we're going to talk about a woman whose influence almost hit rock bottom. It was really sad. And so back in these days, women had almost no influence at all, especially less than men had. And so we're going to be reading in Luke 7:36 through 39. So this says, when one of the Pharisees invited Jesus to have dinner with him, he went to the Pharisee's house and reclined at the table. A woman in that town who lived a sinful life learned that Jesus was eating at the Pharisee's house, so she came there with a jar of perfume. As she stood behind him at his feet weeping, she began to wet his feet with her tears. Then she wiped them with her hair, kissed them, and poured perfume on them. So you have to think, back in the day, their shoes were sandals, and they walked outside and it was all muddy and dusty, and it was really gross. So if you're walking around all day, just imagine all that dirt and mud and dust just gets caked onto your feet. So it's really, really gross. So whenever she washes somebody's feet, it's an act of love, or almost like an act of worship, but it was something that a lot of times servants would do. So with that in mind, let's keep reading. So when the Pharisee who had invited him saw this, he said to himself, "If this man were a prophet, he would know who is touching him and what kind of woman she is, that she is a sinner." And so the thing is, the Pharisee had Jesus all wrong. He thought that Jesus would care about who was touching him or who was washing his feet, and that he would be disgusted by this woman, washing his feet. But he had it all wrong. So Jesus was drawn to and loved those who were sinners and those who were down in life or down on their luck. So Jesus, he preferred people with no influence, and people with no influence were drawn to Jesus. People who were sinners were drawn to Jesus, and people who had negatively affected others were drawn to Jesus in this time. This woman, she knew that she had a bad reputation, and she knew that she had zero influence over people. And so her appreciation for Jesus was fueled by her own inadequacy.
And then Jesus tells a story and goes on. It says this: "Then he turned to the woman and said to Simon, 'Do you see this woman? I came into your house. You did not give me any water for my feet, but she wet my feet with her tears and wiped them with her hair. You did not give me a kiss, but this woman, from the time I entered, has not stopped kissing my feet. You did not put oil on my head, but she has poured perfume on my feet. Therefore, I tell you, her many sins have been forgiven, as her great love has shown. But whoever has been forgiven little loves little.' And then Jesus said to her, 'Your sins are forgiven.' Simon looked at this woman and probably saw her as nothing, but Jesus looked at her and saw something completely different. He saw potential and purpose and positive effect for her future. See, up until this point, the cause and effect on this woman's life looked something like this. Cause: she was a sinner. Effect: people looked down on her and thought negatively about her. But this was the cause and effect of Jesus' response to her. Cause: Jesus loved her. Effect: Jesus forgave her and gave her a new start. No matter what you've done, or how bad of a person you think you are, or how many people see you differently because of what you've done, you are loved by Jesus. And you're free to love him back. You don't need to get it together, make up for anything to try to be good or better until you can hang out with Jesus. In fact, what's incredible about Jesus' encounter with this woman is that afterward she had more influence than she could have ever imagined. And to be clear, her story has been told and she's been used as an example of faith for thousands and thousands of years. Her you effect may have once been almost gone, but it became bigger than she could have ever imagined. And because of her decision to take a step toward Jesus, her story was redeemed through Jesus. Her lost influence, lost reputation, and lost standing weren't lost forever.
So maybe you can relate to this story because maybe you think you've had a negative influence, whether it was 10 years ago or last week. And maybe you think you've just messed up so much that you can never have a positive influence again. Well, I want to assure you that that is absolutely not true. And I want to talk about 3 things that you can do if that's you. First thing is to reflect. Think about all the things that have happened, all the things that you think you might have done wrong, and just think about how that has affected other people. And then the next thing you need to do is confess. You need to tell God. Just remember that we have access directly to God. If you pray to him, he will hear you. Just like this woman, she had access to Jesus. Now, other people probably thought negatively of her, but she was able to go to Jesus, and he accepted her as she was. So we need to confess to God the things that we've done and the negative influence that we've had on other people. And the third thing is to identify a specific step that you can take in the right direction so that you can, and you will never be able to completely erase everything that's happened, but that's okay because that's stuff we can learn from so that we can have positive influence on other people. See, that's our cause, is having positive influence, and our effect could be someone growing closer in their relationship with the Lord, or someone coming to know Jesus, or just, maybe brightening somebody's day. But regardless, we can always have a positive influence on others. So the 3 things you need to do are reflect on what you've done and how you've influenced others, confess that to God, and take steps into becoming a positive influence in other people's lives.
And so as you leave today, I want you to remember this. Because of Jesus, we can change the effect that we have on others. Lost influence isn't lost forever. You've never gone too far, done too many terrible things to keep distance between you and Jesus. There is always room and there is always time to come back. And what's also true is you can use your story of lost influence to help others who may be in the same boat. You can be Jesus to them. You can take a step toward them and invite them in and understand that they can be forgiven. Things can be resolved. There is healing, and lost influence isn't lost forever. And the truth is, all of us mess up sometimes. And when it happens, we're tempted to walk up or give up or walk away or just say, forget the whole thing. But Jesus always leaves room for us to come back to him, to make things new, to start over, and continue making steps toward a positive influence that can make a big difference in the lives of other people.
We're excited to see you and chat with you and hear your thoughts on today's lesson. Don't forget to sign you and your family up for GFA. The website, again, is gfa2020.org. We are really excited about these adventures, and it's going to be a blast, and we hope that you'll be a part. Love you guys. See you soon.